Campfire Tales, Lore of the Olympic National Forest by R.S. Hughes. Lake Crescent Monster. On a misty, overcast autumn morning, under the canopy of towering evergreens, 3 seasoned fishermen, Joe, Tom, and Rick, set out on Lake Crescent in search of the largest trout they had ever seen. They are called Beardsley lunkers, an almost mythical fish that can grow to the size of half the length of a man. Lake Crescent is an ancient lake. Its creation story is full of folklore and legend. With one look at this lake, you would think that all of the stories are true. The lake was serene, its surface like a mirror reflecting the towering trees and the overcast sky above. The barometer was dropping, indicating inclement weather. Despite this, Joe knew these were the best conditions for fishing. He wanted to try out his brand new 19-foot fiberglass outboard, and what better way to have a maiden voyage than to share it with friends. The fishing was great that day, with almost every cast resulting in a catch. They kept only the biggest ones and let the smaller ones, which were at least 15 inches long, go. By no means were these small fish. "It's like the fish want to jump in our boat," Tom exclaimed, searching for another lure. "Can't keep 'em all. I'm here for the lunkers," Rick replied, holding his fishing pole at the ready. "Must be a monster scaring them out of the lake," Tom joked, and everyone laughed. "Has anyone ever heard of the Lake Crescent legend?" Joe asked, gazing out over the water. Tom and Rick replied, "No." "Well, legend has it that there are deep caverns that go through the lake bed into the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Prehistoric sea monsters that can breathe both fresh and seawater, like salmon, swim through these caves back to Lake Crescent to lay their eggs. They say this lake is an ancient prehistoric breeding ground," Joe explained. Tom and Rick laughed. "That's ridiculous. Where'd you hear that?" Rick blurted out. "That salty old man at the gas station. He told it to me when I was getting gas for the boat while you guys were inside getting snacks," Joe replied. "Well, as long as he's been around, it's probably true," Tom chuckled. Everyone laughed. The day carried on and everyone almost caught their limit. There was nothing under 30 inches in the hold. The weather seemed to be getting worse. The sky was darkening. The air was getting colder. A fog was rolling in, dancing on the surface of the lake like an elegant ice skater. As they drifted further into the lake, an eerie silence fell. The usual chorus of frogs and crickets had gone mysteriously quiet. Tom, sensing something was off, cast a worried glance toward his friends, who were engrossed in their fishing gear. "Hey, do you guys hear that?" Tom whispered, his voice trembling slightly. "Hear what?" Joe replied, not looking up from his line. "Exactly. It's too quiet," Tom muttered, scanning the dark waters around them. The boat rocked gently, a small wave lapping against the side. Rick, the joker of the group, grinned. "Relax, Tom. Maybe the fish just know we're coming for them." But Tom couldn't shake his unease. He reached for his flashlight, aiming its beam into the depths of the lake. Just then, an unusually large shadow passed underneath them. "Did you see that?" Tom gasped, gripping the flashlight tightly. Joe and Rick peered over the edge with Tom, their faces pale in the dim light. "What the hell was that?" Joe whispered, his voice barely audible. Before they could react, the boat lurched violently, rocking side to side, nearly tossing them overboard. A chilling growl resonated from the depths, sending a shiver down their spines. "We need to get out of here," Joe shouted, fumbling with the boat's engine, but their motor sputtered and died, leaving them stranded in the middle of the lake. "It must have hit the prop shaft," Joe barked. "What the hell is that?" Tom screamed and pointed. The creature circled them, its eyes glowing like fiery embers in the water. Each pass it made brought it closer, its monstrous form breaking the surface with a sickening gurgle. "Row! We have to row!" Rick yelled, grabbing an oar. They paddled furiously, but the creature was faster, more determined. It lunged again, its teeth tearing into the boat, taking a massive bite out of the stern. The fishermen scrambled to the front, their hearts pounding. It came back around and smashed into the starboard side. "This can't be happening," Joe muttered, his voice a mixture of fear and disbelief. They were huddled in the front of the boat, Rick closest to the edge. Just then, a creature leapt out of the water, over the boat. It was a monstrous, nightmarish beast with scales that glistened like wet obsidian in what little light they had. The creature's eyes blazed with fury, and its body was a grotesque fusion of crocodile and shark, with a long, sinuous tail that thrashed the water into a frenzy. Its massive jaws, lined with rows of razor-sharp teeth, snapped Rick in half with a sickening crunch, spewing blood everywhere before splashing back into the water on the other side. Joe and Tom screamed at each other, "Rick! Oh my God! Oh my God! What was that? I don't know. It was hideous!" The boat was taking on water. The sky turned pitch black, and the fog wasn't so pretty to them now. They heard the surface of the water break. It was coming back for more. The next morning, local authorities found their boat floating aimlessly near the shore. The once sturdy vessel now bore the scars of a brutal encounter, deep, jagged teeth marks that told a tale of terror. Tom, Joe, and Rick were never found or heard from again, their disappearance shrouded in mystery. To this day, locals speak in hushed tones about the legend of Lake Crescent, warning those who dare venture out. They say a monster still lurks beneath the surface, waiting for its next victims. So the next time you're near Lake Crescent, remember the tale of the three fishermen and the creature that claimed their lives. And if you ever hear the water surface break on an otherwise calm day, it might be best to back away and stay ashore.